welcome to this week's edition of Scrabble Babble. My name is Jesse Matthews, and I was just in Cape Town, South Africa, for the Cape Town International Tournament that was held there by organizer Duncan Keat. We're going to explore a little bit of the culture of South Africa and also talk to some of the players on the Scrabble scene there. Here's a little bit of what it's like to play Scrabble in South Africa. While Scrabblers are in the tournament room playing out for the title of the Cape Town International Champion, I've taken time to go up Table Mountain, one of the new natural seven wonders of the world. And I'm at the top right now taking in the incredible view. Table Mountain itself is quite the spectacle to behold from the ground, but from the top of Table Mountain, the view is even more amazing. Besides the ocean and Lion's Head, which is around the corner, not quite visible, Africa is also home to the smallest of the 7 floral kingdoms in the world, and about 69% of the species, I am told, of flowers that grow here are indigenous to Africa, or South Africa in fact. That is an example of one of the flowers that only grows here in South Africa and the surrounding area. I am here with South African player Gwen Ray, who I've just had the pleasure of meeting. She is playing in the Cape Town International here and has played at the Masters, in fact, so she's had some experience here. Gwen, thanks for talking to me today.
It's my pleasure to be here.
Gwen, can you talk to me a little bit about your experience here at the Cape Town International so far? What makes this tournament stand out for you?
It's absolutely excellently run. We just learned so much. We've got people from about 10 or 12 different countries coming together and making friends and fellowship, and you play Scrabble and you forget everything else. In fact, I broke my toe the day we started the tournament.
Oh no.
And because I have so much adrenaline, I haven't felt it. You can see it's broken and it's bruised and stiff, and Scrabble just brings life to everything. The adrenaline is unbelievable.
How would you say your friendships have been affected or changed for the better since you started Scrabble? I imagine that must carry outside of the tournament scene for you.
We don't only have friendships, we have family in Scrabble. It's really absolutely amazing. It's a very much a life support, I think, for especially single people and people going through tough times, and it keeps your brain active, and you can prevent getting Alzheimer's and dementia just by keeping your brain active. And we eat, sleep, drink and Scrabble.
Very good. And then could you talk to me a little bit about playing some of the best players in the world here? I imagine by now you must have sat across the table from Nigel in particular. Could you talk about what an experience that is?
Totally nerve-wracking. I played Dave Wiegand, the second-rated player in the world, and I had the goods and I could have won, but because of my nerves I just messed up really badly. But I take my hat off to them. I do honour these people that spend hours and hours and hours just studying. They just live Scrabble.
And you can say, on the positive side of it, you have been toe-to-toe with the very best in the world here and gave them a very good run. That must feel pretty good with all the time you've put into the game.
I'm pretty humbled, and it's really such an honour. These guys are amazing, really.
So what would you say to other people who are maybe thinking about playing in a Scrabble tournament sometime, might feel intimidated? What would you say to those players to get them to join us? What do you think might bring them over the edge?
Life is a challenge. We can't stay away from risks. Jump in the deep end. We're all there to support and help you to get along the way. We all have to start somewhere. And what a way to just keep people off the street, get you out of mischief.
And then finally, just on another tangent, what's your favorite play that you've made this tournament so far? Any notable word or?
I noticed the word eyesores, which is very difficult because there are rather a lot of vowels and you don't easily make a bingo with a Y.
Very good, Gwen. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck in the last couple of games here. We'll see you later.
My absolute honor and pleasure.
Director Duncan Keat has blinged up this tournament a little bit here. That right there is the Champions Trophy. We've got a few other ones off to the side. And then we've also got some category prizes here. There's going to be a high game, high word, and best rating mover award given out at the ceremony, and they get a little token to remember it by.
I am here with the Cape Town International Tournament organizer, Duncan Keat, or as he is better known to people here, Dunks. Duncan, thanks for being with me today.
Okay, thank
Could you
you.
talk us a little bit about Dunks? Where did that name come from?
My grandfathers are Europeans. My grandmothers are local tribes. One is a Khoikhoi, one is a Khoisan. So going back to Malcolm X, I'm saying that my maternal side, I don't really know the history. And a Khoisan called himself Khoisan X. He changed his name. So I'm now Dun X. And that's the story behind Dunks, Dun X. Don't know what the surname on the maternal side is.
That's really cool. So then, Duncan, I understand this is the first time for the Cape Town International. Where did the idea for this tournament come from? As I understand you've hosted other tournaments in Cape Town as well.
Yeah. I think in 2009, Gerald and I played in Malta. Gerald is the chairperson of this committee, organizing committee. We played in Malta and people asked to have a tournament in Cape Town specifically, so that they knew it was a great city to tour, and we'll have Scrabble on the side. And we've been playing with the idea, and eventually last year, Gerald and I got onto the Cape Town committee, which is Western Province Scrabble, and we decided to go ahead. We've been thinking about it for a very long time. We said, let's do this, and it's a dream of Gerald and mine.
So for tournaments like this one, and then others that you've hosted here, how many nations in Africa can you expect to attend one of these tournaments?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 African countries.
That is very impressive. Do you ever have interlingual challenges, possibly? I've heard that there's a fairly active French community and even a Portuguese Scrabble community in South Africa. Have you ever talked to the other ones?
The only other one I know of is the Afrikaans one, and they're a small community, and from time to time I visit there and try and play Afrikaans Scrabble. And Trevor Havelmeyer and I, when he's in Cape Town, he stays with me, and we always have a game of Afrikaans Scrabble. So yeah, we try and stay with both languages, and we try and keep a good rapport or relationship with the Afrikaans Scrabble players, which is a really small community.
If you had to summarize one notable difference between Afrikaans Scrabble in terms of strategy and English, what would you say is an outstanding difference between the two games?
The outstanding difference is Afrikaans hardly takes an S at the end, whereas English, it is like gold.
So in Afrikaans, would you say that people hook words a little less and it's more extensions, or how do people tend to score more points in Afrikaans?
Afrikaans, the values of the letters are different, and what is difficult when you're starting out with Afrikaans is the synergy of the letters, and that is the most difficult.
And then just to wrap up here, because I know you have a game to go back to, if you were to tell future possible attendants of a tournament in Cape Town one thing that would get them to come here, what would you tell them?
Tell them, for Cape Town specific,
Sure, yes.
I'll tell them they'll never get to see enough. They'd want to come back because there'd always be something more that they haven't done in Cape Town yet. There are so many things you can do in Cape Town and so many tourist attractions, and you get value for your money. I mean, a bus trip around the peninsula would cost you, divide by 17, less than $10.
That is truly amazing. If there is just one attraction you would recommend seeing in Cape Town, it's hard to narrow it down, but what would be the one that you would say go to right away?
My one would be from Chapman's Peak to Cape Town Drive along the Atlantic seaboard.
I actually just did the drive along there yesterday myself. It is really a beautiful spot. Duncan, thanks so much for your time. Good luck in your last couple of games here. Appreciate the time.
Thanks, Stacey.
So this right here is part of Scoreboard, developed by John Chu and his program Tish. The green row on the top shows players who are currently in the money, which means that they have a chance at winning prize money when this tournament is over. And then the red shows people who are not in the money as you go progressively down the standings. That's the top 10 there. This shows some of the other players in the tournament. Besides checking standings, players often hang around here to talk about their games. There we have John Chu taking this away right now, in fact, and two other players hanging out who have finished talking about their games. This here is an A-Math board. It's a variation on Scrabble invented by Amnuai Plaisangangam from Thailand. Instead of letters, they have numbers and operators. The idea is to make a valid equation where all numbers balance on each side. This is an example of one board. This is a shot of the scoreboard. We're only one round into play on the final day, and Nigel has already secured the victory at this tournament. That's how much he's beaten the field by. And this is not an easy set of players. It's an amazing accomplishment, really. So we're going to go to the awards ceremony, where we're going to show you Nigel's trademark strut that we've all kind of gotten used to as he goes up to accept his award.
I have no idea how many ratings points he dropped as a result of this. We appreciate his coming all this way. From New Zealand and Malaysia, Mr. Nigel Richards.
Australian expert David Eldar is looking at the scoreboard as he is in a nice spot on there, actually, in second, just behind Nigel Richards. Mr. Eldar, how do you feel about your tournament this go around?
Hey, well, I'll take my bag off. How do I feel about the tournament this time around? Yep, this was a successful outing for me as I outperformed my seeding by like 3 splits.
Very good. And what made this tournament unique for you compared to some of the other ones?
Let's, what? Tell me again?
What makes this tournament unique for you compared to some of the other ones you've been to?
Well, it's in Africa. I've never been or played in Africa before. Yeah, otherwise it's relatively similar to the other tournaments.
For this tournament in particular, the award ceremony was fairly unique compared to what we're used to at many others. Could you describe some of what makes the tournament different here in that sense?
A lot of strong puns and lengthy jokes.
It seems like there are no rush with things like that. Hey?
No, I would say not.
So once this tournament's all done here, where are you off to next?
London, which is where I live.
So in Australia, living in London. Very good. Any tournaments in your future here?
Yep, I will play in South Africa or in London.
Either or.
I'll play in the World Championship in Lille and probably in the Causeway in Malaysia.
Very good. Thank you for your time. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
I am with tournament director Amy Byrne. She hails from Edinburgh, Scotland. Amy, thanks for taking the time to talk today. How did you find the tournament experience here?
It was a wonderful experience. I found that the majority of players were of such a high standard, and even the social, what we would call social players, who were entered into the championship side of the tournament, were very passionate about the game. A lot of good words on the board, and a lot of analysing going on. Very serious Scrabble players throughout, every single one of them.
And I understand this is your first time to Africa. How have you enjoyed your time here?
It's been wonderful. I came out a bit early and did the touristy thing, which was fantastic. And to prepare myself for 5 days of competitive Scrabble, not knowing whether I was going to have a good crowd or a real bullshit crowd.
Very good. And did any of that preparation involve some of the renowned wine here in South Africa?
Well, I cannot lie, I've not visited any of the wine lands. However, I have sampled 1 or 2 glasses in the bar.
Very good. Is there any particular type of wine you like from this region?
I've got to say the Western Cape Sauvignon Blanc, very nice.
I'd have to agree with that. The Sauv Blanc I've sampled I liked very much as well. While you were directing, were there any particular plays or circumstances that came up that were fun for you this weekend? Could you talk about one?
Some of them, no, I don't like to mention players' names. Shall we just say there was one player who just didn't seem to understand the word quiet, do not talk. Especially not when other players are playing. You don't go up to them and talk. He was like that for 4 days, and today he was an absolute angel. I just couldn't believe it.
So you cracked him. You managed to crack him on the 15th.
Oh yes. They don't last long with me, trust me.
So there you have it, the iron hand of Amy Byrne. Eventually it always comes down.
It does indeed.
Amy, where will we see you next on the Scrabble circuit here? Any tournaments coming up for you?
I'm actually playing
Oh, wow.
in the Scottish Masters on the 13th of February, so I get home 3 days before that. And I'm running a tournament in Pitlochry in Scotland, which is a 3-day tournament. Then I'm going to the Easter Badge play, and I think I'm going to Cork, and I think I'm going to Vienna. Not very sure yet.
Goodness, you've got a few events on your list there and playing too. That's nice to see.
Yes.
We don't always have time as directors to play, so it's great to see that you are also going to sit across the board, and the masters at that.
Yes, well.
So, best of luck then there for you. Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me. We will see you next time.
It's been a pleasure, Jesse.
Thank you. See you soon.
See you.
Well, that's it for this week's edition of Scrabble Babble. Brought to you on the road from Cape Town, South Africa. Hopefully you enjoyed that glimpse into what Scrabble life is like, at least in South Africa, the Cape Town International. And hopefully you will join us again for another episode of Scrabble Babble, whether it's on the road at a tournament or here in my home in Kelowna, as we look at different strategy pointers and tips and tricks and more insight into the culture that makes up Scrabble. Thanks very much. Until next time.